The Democratic Republic of Congo is calling on top European football clubs to end their, quote, blood-stained sponsorship deals with Rwanda. Arsenal, Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain have all signed multi-year, multi-million-dollar agreements with Rwanda to promote it as a tourist destination. The Visit Rwanda logo can be seen on players' sleeves and in stadiums across Europe. The plea comes as thousands have been killed, injured or displaced by M23 rebels in eastern Congo. Despite repeated denials, the UN, the G7 and others say Rwanda is backing the offensive. According to one UN report, as many as 4,000 Rwandan troops are active in Congo. In a letter to the 3 football clubs, Congo's foreign minister writes, "Countless lives have been lost, rape, murder and theft prevail. Your sponsor is directly responsible for this misery. If not for your own consciences, then the clubs should do it. End their sponsorship agreement for the victims of Rwandan aggression." Let's talk more about all of this with British journalist and author Michaela Wrong. She has written several books on Africa. She joins me now from London. Good to have you with us.
Good evening.
Now, in her letter, which we just read out, Congo's foreign minister accuses the football clubs of being directly responsible for the misery in her country through their sponsorship deals. What do you make of this accusation?
Well, I think it's undoubtedly a fact that these sponsorships, along with a whole range of other contracts and deals done with sports organisations around the world, have acted to sanitize Rwanda in the eyes of the world. Rwanda, which is a very poor country, has decided to spend a certain amount of its money supporting these clubs. It has also signed deals with, for example, the Bicycling World Championships, which are due to be staged in Rwanda this year. It's hoping to get Formula One to be held in Rwanda. And what it does is it creates this image of a modern, progressive, clean, safe African country, which is all well and good if you're just looking at Rwanda. But at the same time, as we have seen, it is intervening very, very strongly in neighbouring Congo and creating chaos in that country and is responsible for thousands of deaths.
So you said already Rwanda is a poor country, yet it is spending several $1 million on these football club deals. How are you expecting those football clubs, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, to react? Should they cancel their sponsorship contracts with Rwanda? Is that feasible?
I think these, speaking for Arsenal here in the UK, I think these are rich, popular, very high-profile clubs. I don't think they need to take money from Rwanda. I think they can find other sponsors. And I would encourage them to do so, because there is something very jarring about seeing these slick deals being signed, and we see these sexy young footballers, going out to Congo, shaking the hand of President Paul Kagame, shaking hands with somebody who's been accused of being behind, mass atrocities and massacres and murder inside Congo and in his own country, and therefore helping him to whitewash his image.
Now, last week, Britain's foreign minister told Parliament that Rwanda receives $1 billion in foreign aid annually, and 32 million of that come from Britain. But he warned that aid is now under threat when you, quote, attack your neighbours. Let's just listen to a short soundbite from his address.
Ultimately, however, we need a political solution. We know that M23 rebels could not have taken Goma without material support from Rwandan Defence Forces.
Now, the G7 and the UN have condemned Rwanda's backing of the rebels and called on it to stop. Should development aid cooperation with Rwanda be put on hold?
Well, I'm one of the many analysts who write about the region who've been calling for this for a while. I understand, by the way, that Germany has suspended talks on bilateral aid with Rwanda, and that seems to me very fitting. The point is that there was a similar situation in 2012 where M23, which is backed by Rwanda, heavily armed, takes many of its orders from Rwanda, had encircled Goma. And then there was a united donor front by the partners that Rwanda relies on for its foreign aid. And they said, if you carry on doing that, that's the end. $240 million worth of aid was frozen. And very, very quickly, that M23 force dispersed and its fighters went back to Uganda and Rwanda. So we have not seen that this time. And we know that this kind of pressure is immensely effective and has a major impact on President Paul Kagame. So I think it is well past time that similar measures were embraced.
Just briefly, if you would, because Rwanda continues to deny that it is backing the rebels. Is there any doubt who is behind the offensive?
There's absolutely no doubt. We've seen endless numbers of reports by a UN group of experts. We've seen the same message coming from the US, from the EU, from Britain, from France, from Belgium. And, we had an emergency meeting at the UN Security Council on Sunday in which delegate after delegate, ambassador after ambassador was saying, we know that the M23 is back to the hill by Rwanda. And not only that, they were saying Rwandan troops are inside Congo. I'm hearing from my diplomatic sources that we're talking about 7,500 Rwandan troops active on Congolese soil. So there is absolutely no doubt. I'm sure President Paul Kagame will keep saying that, but actually nobody believes him.
All right, journalist and author Michaela Wrong from London. Thank you so very much for your time.